Hey everybody, Mohammed here. I've got another battle report for you. It's another pretty good one. It's my Nurgle against Chaos Demons. Mostly Khorne, but there are some other stuff mixed in there. We're playing 80 pools of South Coast GT Comp, so I'll jump straight into it right after the army breakdown. So, here is a picture of deployments, and as you can see we're playing the first mission from the South Coast GT pack, where there's a, if you think about splitting the board into quarters, there's a blue gem in each quarter, and only heroes or monsters can capture them, and it's the total number, you score it at the end of each battle round, and the most at the end of the game wins. So I was feeling okay about this game because I had a little bit more way of scoring these objectives by holding back, whereas he had quite an offensive army, so I didn't really want to hang back too much. But we'll see how it goes. So on my side, right at the far end, I've got a Demon Prince, then 5 Blight Kings, and 15 Chaos Warriors. Then right next to them we've got Chaos Sorcerer Lord. On that bridge I've got a Catapults of the Plague Claw variety, and I've got 20 Plague Bearers with a Herald of Nurgle in the middle of them. Then 3 Beasts of Nurgle and Orgot's Demon Spew. On his side, starting right at the top, he's got a Spawn, you can barely see it behind the tree. Then he's got 6 Blood Crushers. Then he's got a Blood Secretor. Blood Secretor. Next to his Bloodthirster. Then he's got a 20 Bloodletter units of Bloodletters. And then a Skull Cannon of Khorne. And then just below them, he's got 3 Flamers of Tzeentch, a Exalted Flamer, and I think it's actually only 8 or 9 Pink Horrors, just because he didn't have one of them painted up, which is what it is. So, I believe he just finished deploying first by 1 unit, so he opted for me to go first, and that's exactly what I did. But I didn't really do a whole lot, to be honest with you. I don't need to. I'm quite happily scoring my objectives. But here's my game plan. On the bottom, I had Orgots and the Beasts, and they're both quite fast. And they're also the opposite side of his fast and his hard stuff. So I was going to send these guys straight forward, smash through the Pink Horrors and those Flamers, and try and hold that objective for as long as possible so I could score the points. While opposite his hard stuff, I've got my Blight Kings, my Warriors, and my Demon Prince. I was hoping they could just hold off on that objective so he couldn't capture them. I was pretty confident there was nothing he could do about the Herald or the Plague Bearers holding the objective on my lower hand side. So I was fairly confident that was kind of my basic battle plan. So my first turn I push Orgots and the Beasts forward, put Orgots into the terrain as you might expect. Other than that, not a whole lot happens. I do cast a few spells here and there. I put Demonic Power onto the Catapult, just in case, just to give it a bit of extra chance of hitting and doing what it needs to do. So that's all my movement, there's very little of it. I go straight into the shooting phase, and the Catapult takes aim at the Bloodletters and splat. Takes 10 of them off, which is fantastic. So that's a really big dent in them already, so I'm really happy about that. That is the only shooting I've got in range, so we go to the Battle Shock phase. He does lose another 3 or 4 Bloodletters, which is fantastic. So that unit is now completely neutered, and I'm very happy about that. So we go to his turn, and this is what his movement looks like. So he does cast Arcane Bolt from the Horrors at Orgots, gets it through and rolls a 6, so he takes 3 wounds right there. That's okay, I can live with that, but rather it didn't happen. I need to kill those guys fast. And other than that, everything kind of moves forward a bit. Not hugely aggressively, because I know he knew I could take a double turn, so... Or... No. He knew that if he took the double turn... So a bit... He does move forward a bit tentatively. He knew he could get a double turn, so he didn't even need to move that far forward in order to be able to charge next turn, so I think that's kind of the idea. In the shooting phase, Flamers take aim at Orgots, but aren't able to do anything, which is fantastic, because I've got a 2-up save sitting in that ruin. I'm pretty sturdy, and that's great. So we jump it with no other shooting left. His Skull Cannon, I believe, misses. We go straight into the initiative roll-off, which I win. So we go into my turn. And this is what it looks like. I push Orgots and the Beasts forward again. I was going to put the Beasts straight into the Horrors. I was fairly confident they could deal with them. Then Orgots can probably deal with the Flamers fairly handily, and that'd be ideal. I also decided to move a bit further forward with my Warriors. I just moved them out of that stream. I'm not really sure why I did this. I kind of just wanted to try and get maybe a long bomb charge on those, the Bloodletters. If I could do that, then I take them out, and I'm already standing in quite a good position, so that would be ideal. To keep him a bit further off the objectives for longer, and that'd be great. So there, that's my movement phase. In my shooting phase, Orgots uses his tongue attack and manages to kill a whole Flamer and put a wound on another, which is fantastic, so that's half of their wounds down already. Unfortunately, my catapult does miss. There's not really a decent target for it, so I think I shot at the Bloodthirster. But I missed, that's alright. So, we go to the charge phase. Orgots and the Beasts slam in over here, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted, but nothing else happens, so I don't get the long charge with my Warriors. But you know what, that's not a big deal. I wasn't counting on that or anything, so you know I can live with that. So, I decided to go with my Beasts first. I wasn't too worried about what would happen to Orgots if he got attacked. And I wanted to smash 3 Horrors down, so that's fantastic. That's a third of them down, and that's fine. Over here, he piles in with his Exalted Flamer, and is able to do a single wound to Orgots, which is a bit unexpected. But I can live with that. So Orgots picks up his Rot Axes, smashes back, and kills the Exalted Flamer and another whole Flamer even. So they are now down to 1 Flamer. That's great. Then he attacks back with his Horrors, and surprisingly actually is able to do 2 wounds to the Beasts, which is rubbish. But I'll live with it. So we go into his turn. And this is a bit more aggressive this time. He pushes everything forward pretty much as far as he can. The Bloodthirster comes stomping forward, ready to get into some combats. The Bloodsecrator, who's on the edge of that piece of terrain, plants his banner, and everything else just pushes forward up there. In the meantime, on the bottom hand side, his Horrors do cast Arcane Bolt at Orgots again, and able to put another 3 wounds onto him, so that's rubbish. So he's now not doing too well. And then in the shooting phase, I believe the Horrors are able to actually put another wound onto Orgots with their shooting. Which was actually kind of depressing. But, you know, hey-ho. So we go to the combat phase. The Bloodletters slam into the Warriors, and I was absolutely fine with that. Spawn charges into the Putrid Blight Kings over here, and that's absolutely fine. And then he does a bit of a weird one. His Skull Cannon smashes into the side of Orgots. So he had quite a long charge here, but he decided this was more useful than going into the Warriors. And he also smashes in with his Bloodthirster, so that had me a bit more worried. So, he decides to go with his... I believe he goes with his Bloodthirster first, actually. And he totally fluffs his rolls. He's only able to kill a single Chaos Warrior, and I'm fine with that. So I decided to go with Orgots next, and I'm able to put a pretty decent 5 wounds onto the... It's got 2 wounds left, basically. That dice is number of wounds left. So, yeah, he's got 2 wounds left, and that's pretty good going. I would have hoped to kill it, but I can't pray too hard. I did roll pretty well for this, so there you go. And then he attacks with... Maybe this was his Bloodthirster, and he kills another 2 Warriors. Maybe his Bloodletters killed the first one, and then the Bloodthirster killed these 2. That's probably what happened, yeah. So I'm piling with my Blight Kings against the Spawn. I don't do great. I'm able to put 3 or 4 wounds onto it. It's got 2 wounds left, so there you go. That's what's happening there. So he attacks with his Horrors next, and is able to put another 2 wounds onto my Beasts. I do decide to fight back with them, and I'm able to kill a single Horror, which is great. And then my Warriors pile in, kill 2 Bloodletters, and put a single wound onto the Bloodthirster, which is not great, but it's a start, and I can live with that. So then he decides to pile in with his Skull Cannon attack, and I was okay with this because I was hoping he might be able to do a bunch of damage, and the wounds would bounce back and kill him. And that's exactly what happens. He does 2 wounds, and those both bounce back, and both of them manage to do a wound to him. So I am now sporting 10 wounds on Orgots. So 10 wounds. So he's now down to 2 wounds left, which is not great. But I do take out the Skull Cannon, and that's brilliant. So we go into his turn, and the first thing that happens is he laser beams off Orgots. He casts Arcane Bolt with the Horrors, and he just deletes Orgots, which is rubbish. I was not happy about that. I mean, he'd done pretty well, but I really wanted the hero over that side of the board to capture that objective. So it looks like I'm just going to have to hold on to defending my objectives rather than actually taking him. So he's down a little bit on his objectives. But so yeah, that was a bit rubbish. But hey ho. So here's the rest of his movement. His Blood Crushers there move up right up to the Blight Kings. But other than that, there's not a whole lot, to be honest. His Flamers do rush forward to try and take care of the... or to try and help take care of the Plague Bearers and the Herald in there. Other than that, not a whole lot happens. So we go to the shooting phase first, and his Horrors are able to shoot off a one of the Beasts of Nurgle, which is a bit rubbish. Seeing as I was hoping they could actually beat these Horrors, but they're actually apparently having a bit of an issue with it. Oh, they're incompetent. But hey ho. And then we go to the... it's still in the shooting phase. He uses the Bloodthirster's whip attack against my Demon Prince. He's able to plink 3 wounds off and drag him into that combat. Which I'd be a bit concerned, actually, because I didn't really want to get my Demon Prince thumped in the face. Yeah, that would not have been ideal. So go to the charge phase. His Blood Crushers slam into the Blight Kings, and I was really worried about this. These guys are nasty. That is the only charge he has. And it's the one that he decides to do first. The combat he decides to do first. So he attacks, and he does pretty well. Not amazingly, but I have got a pretty good save where I am. He kills 2 whole Blight Kings, including the Blight Lord, and puts a wound on another Blight King. So, yeah, that wasn't great. Could have done without that. But at least they're going to hold down. Hopefully, I can counter-attack. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with these guys when my warriors are struggling with the Bloodthirster, and I've got no other real backup. So, not a great position to be in. So I attack with my warriors next. I'm able to put 3 more wounds onto the Bloodthirster, which is not bad. He's doing alright. Unfortunately, then his Bloodthirster turns around and murders 3 of my warriors, which is rubbish. I also think I killed 2 blood letters with my warriors, so that's them. But yeah, so they're now looking a bit worse for wear. So I attack with my... Oh, sorry, he attacks with his Spawn next. Is able to put another single wound onto the Blight Kings, and that's okay, I can live with that. So then I attack with my Beasts of Nurgle, and they finally pull out the bag, and they smash the remaining Horrors in their faces. That's fantastic. So these beasts are now free to come and help out with other stuff, and I really need them to at this point. So then he attacks with his Bloodletters, and is able to kill another 2 warriors. Ugh. So now I'm on almost on a dicey bravery check now, which is not good. And then my Blight Kings attack back, and they're actually able to do pretty terribly. They're only able to put, I think, 2 or 3 wounds onto a Blood Crush. It's got 1 left, which is not great, but it is what it is. So we go to Battle Shock, and I roll high enough to lose 3 more warriors. So I'm down to my last 3 warriors, or 3 or 4 warriors on the field, and that's not good. These guys are just chewed through my warriors. So I kind of pull out a Hail Mary here. My Demon Prince is kind of my last chance to do some serious damage. I push my Plague Bearers out. I cast Oracular Visions and Demonic Power on the Demon Prince to make sure he's as hard as he can be. And my beasts run up. If I can charge the Bloodthirster, great. If not, I can still hit the Flamer and take that out. Likewise with the Plague Bearers. I'm still within range of the objective with my Heralds, but if I can get forward with my Plague Bearers or my Herald into that Bloodthirster and do the damage I need to do, I really need to bring him down before he starts scoring objectives, because that's the one way I'm not going to lose this game. That's by scoring the objectives. That's all I was thinking right now. So we go into the. I got no shooting. My catapult misses, I believe. No, I shoot the Bloodstoker with the Bloodsecrator. Sorry, with my catapult. I hit. I wound, and he makes his 6-up save, or whatever save he had. It was rubbish. So yeah, so going to the charge phase. My Plague Bearers charge straight into the Bloodthirster and managed to make it, which is fantastic. My Herald doesn't, but yeah, that is what it is. And my Sorcerer charges into the Blood Crushers here, partially to stop him piling in as much, partially to make it so I was still within 3 inches of that objective, so I'm actually scoring it. Or to make sure I was scoring, at least. So, the first thing I do is pile in with my Demon Prince. And, wow. 4 attacks, 4 hits, 4 wounds, 4 failed saves, and I roll all 5s and 6s for my damage. And boom! He smashes the Bloodthirster right in his stupid face, and he goes down. And that's amazing. I just put 10 or 11 wounds onto it like that. It was nothing. Absolutely fantastic. My Demon Prince puts down the Bloodthirster. And I'm so happy about that. With just that kill, I felt like I was back in the game. So he attacks with the Blood Crushers in retaliation. Again, does pretty well. Kills a whole 2 Blight Kings and puts 2 wounds onto my Sorcerer Lord. So these are still something I have to deal with, a real threat. But apparently my Demon Prince is a boss today, so... So I attack with my Warriors here. I pile in and I'm able to kill... I think only a single Bloodlet. I think I rolled pretty pants. But they're lowering the number. So he attacks so I attack with my. He attacks back with his Bloodletter straight away, but isn't able to do anything. So I attack with my beasts over here, and I'm able to smash the Flamer down, which is perfect. These guys hate Tzeentch today, don't they? And then my Plague Bearers piling around, and are able to kill the final 2 Bloodletters, so they are out the way now. So with that one turn, just thanks to that Demon Prince, pretty much, I've removed that entire combat. Now I can go and deal with those Blood Crushers the way they need to be dealt with. And that's ideal. So I attacked my Chaos Sorcerer Lord. I think I'm able to actually put a couple of wounds onto a Blood Crusher, which is fantastic. So, we go into the initiative roll-off here. So, we go to the initiative roll-off, and I am able to win it, which is fantastic. That means I get the double turn, and I push everything I can upwards to try and deal with that stuff. I cast Demonic Power and Oracular Visions on the Demon Prince again, and everything else just rushes up forward. Meanwhile, my Warriors, my Demon Prince, and my Plague Bearers all pile into the Blood Crushers to try and deal with them, and that would be ideal to get rid of them. So I attack my Demon Prince first, and being the guy that he is, on point today, smashes 4 of them apart, which is a fantastic show. Another really, really great round of rolling. It was like 4 hits, 4 wounds with my axe, and then the Talons did a whole bunch of wounds as well. So it's fantastic. So that threat now is all but gone, and that's fantastic. So he does attack back with his Blood Crushers and is able to kill the remaining Blight King, which is really sad, but I wasn't going to mourn too much because I fairly comfortably have these guys dealt with now. So my Warriors attacked and able to kill another Blood Crusher, which is perfect. So then after which his Spawn piles into my Chaos Warriors and is able to kill one. That's okay. So then we go to his turn, and he is looking a bit worse for wear now. He's just lost a bunch of big units, and that's fantastic. His Bloodsecrator comes across to try and charge in. Other than that, he's got nothing left to move. So he actually managed to get a charge with his Bloodsecrator. He has a long bomb charge and smashes straight into the Herald. I think we're just thinking, it'd be cool to see a character on character duel, so that's what he goes for. He attacks first with this one, does 2 wounds to the Herald. So I do attack back over here with my Demon Prince, and I'm quite easily able to kill that Blood Crusher, because this is my Demon Prince, and apparently he's amazing. So then he piles in with his spawn, is able to kill another warrior. That's okay, that's not going to make a difference to the game. So I pile in with my warriors, but again, aren't able to do anything, which is a bit sad, but I can take it. When I attack, I end up attacking back with my herald and not doing anything. So we go straight into the initiative roll-off, which I win again, which is fantastic. So I don't do a whole lot of movement here. I don't really need to. The spawns should be easy to deal with. I do bring my beasts behind the Bloodsecrator just to try and take him out. So they pile in the back. He does fight with his spawn first, but doesn't do anything. Then I attack with my beasts. Are able to put 4 wounds onto the Bloodsecrator, which is pretty good going. And then my herald finishes the job and kills him, and that's perfect. Just what I needed. So that goes out of the way now. And just the spawn left to deal with. Unfortunately, my Chaos Warriors aren't able to kill him, and that is the end of the game. There you go. Another really good game. This is a fantastic opponent to play. A lot of fun. Really great army. And I'm really looking forward to the rematch, which will be happening. So, there you go. Another victory for the Legions of Nurgle. But when it felt a very, very dicey game in the middle there for a bit, I was very not confident that I could actually pull it out when I had all that issue with big things tying me down. But there you go. That's just how this game goes sometimes. So thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel or like the video. Leave a comment below or follow me on Twitter at MoreWarGames for all the most recent stuff and things. It's great. So yeah, there you go. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.